What is up, everyone? Can you guys hear me okay? If not, I'll take my earbud out and do it old school. I do not like this new layout on StreamYard because I can only see 2 comments at a time. Let me scroll up. I hope everyone's having a good Wednesday. Hello, Kaz. Nicolina. Nicolina is my very first super chat, you guys. Well, this time around. So I took a screenshot of it and I'm going to save it forever. Thank you so much, Nick. In case you guys haven't noticed, I monetized again. Let me finish saying hello to everyone. Amy, new member. Kaz is a member. Beth, yeah, Mom. Thank you guys. Nick's a member. Hello, Harley. Catlin's a member. Pontypool, hello. Lickety Split. Libster, Tiny T, Chaos. Mama Nani. Spicy, hello, Lion Mama, Queen Ashley, Raylan, Terry. I think I'm at the end. So hello, everyone, and welcome to all the new members. I promise I'm going to get rid of the janky badges and add some emojis and all that as soon as possible. A lot's changed since I was last monetized. Hey, Freeside. So I thought I would give it a whirl, make my big 3 cents per video. Maybe I can go someplace nice. Speaking of, I'm a little stuffy today, adjusting to some climate change, but we're going to get through it. So it has been some freaking eventful last few days, has it not? I've just kind of been hanging in the background, watching all this shit go down. Oh, yay. Hello, Bells and Wilsons and Schmoopy new members. It's so crazy seeing all of this green in my chat. Like, it's going to take me a minute to adjust to that. But I appreciate all of you. So, yeah, last week when we left off, Ernie was on my panel, and since then, it has just been a whirlwind of speculation and where's Ernie and this can't be real and that picture's fake and oh shit, we all got snookered by that fake picture. It has just been a lot. It's been funny though. Like, I love watching this shit. You guys entertain the fuck out of me. It's great. Keep it up. Keep up the good work, team. There was a situation the other day that happened. While it's fresh on my mind, I'm going to go ahead and just knock it out of the water. Hey, Libs. It was said the other day that I was stalking some people wanting a reaction. And then, went into Little Miss Moral Authority, who is so against this and so against that. Yeah, I am. Not once have I ever said I was the moral authority, though. Do I have personal moral boundaries? Absolutely. I think that all of this real life stuff, no matter who is doing it, is wrong. Like, that's just the way it is. I don't agree with it. However, this is where we're at, right? Everyone has just lost their minds and gone real life on each other. Do I participate in it? Absolutely not. Do I seek out and want to find out anything about people's real lives? Absolutely not. Don't care. Not my business. Your family, what goes on inside your house, what goes on outside your house in the street, none of my business. That being said, if that shit gets brought to YouTube and I see it kick off, naturally, I'm going to want to see the end result. I am going to want to know, damn, have they said anything about this? Couple of days pass by. Have you heard anything about this yet? Because I want to know. I had just found out about that situation at the same time everyone else did. I don't get involved in all that crap. I don't talk to any of those people behind the scenes. I didn't know it was going to happen. I wasn't even really sure what happened after it did happen. But no, don't fault me for wanting to know what the outcome's going to be, because all of you want to know what the outcome's going to be. And by all means, I have always said, if you feel that you're in a situation because of YouTube stuff and it presents a problem in your real life where you're in fear, it's affecting your children, it's affecting your employment, it's affecting anything at all, take whatever steps you need to take and that you can take and handle that shit. Don't bring it here, because when you bring it here, you're going to run the risk of tanking your own case. And it can happen. Everyone knows it's very hard to get anything done about anything that happens on this platform, right? And people are just going balls to the wall, taking advantage of it. You can only police yourself. That's why I always try to stay on the right side of wrong. Does that mean I'm not going to run my mouth and talk shit? Nope, not going to happen. I am going to talk just as much crap that all of you talk. So don't be surprised. So no, just to clear that up, I do not think I'm the moral authority of anything. Wrong. What else has happened? Mama T yesterday was on a roll. Good gracious, she was tripping all over the English language, couldn't get anything out. Someone had made a very wordy comment, and what I mean by wordy comment is means it had a lot of big words. And I saw Mama T pin it, but she didn't read it, which I found was odd because she reads every single comment. That's no shade against Mama T. She knows I like picking on her. But sometimes she does need to slow her roll a little bit and, actually figure out what she's talking about. She was being pretty rude yesterday to Ernie's sisters. This whole thing about Ernie, I listened to Mama T yesterday basically demanding that he show all this paperwork and prove what his injuries and illnesses are. And, oh my gosh, you owe this to us. He doesn't owe any of us anything. Nothing at all. And all of you that think that any of us are controlling him or he's doing everything that we say or that Nick says because that's what he has to do to get the money. I've never given Ernie $1. Not $1 ever. Not back in the day when I wouldn't get along with him. Not now. He's never asked me for anything at all. He's never asked to come stay at my house. He's never asked me to pick him up and drive him anywhere. He's never asked me to send him anything. So you're all wrong about that too. And I know that this is just like a complete waste of my time and energy because it really doesn't matter what anyone says. Like, everyone has their minds made up, right? They all think they know it all. All these self-righteous ass people who think they do no wrong. I was reading some of the comments over the weekend in some of these chats, and just the shit that flies out of people's mouths. However, I will say, I will commend someone as much as it pains me because someone did, like a dumbass, dox my location recently. Of course, this person acts like, oh, who did I dox? Oh, bitch, you know what you did. But, I am thankful because I went back to look at the chat after the live had ended, and it looks like it was removed. So thank you for doing something right. Before you go dox anyone, make sure you know what you're talking about, because when you go dox my location, I don't look at it as you're doxing me. I look at it as you're doxing my children. My children didn't sign up for this. I don't do shit to any of y'all, so shut the fuck up. Ernie's not with me. It doesn't matter if he was 4 hours away, 2 hours away, or 45 minutes away. He's not with me. He hasn't been since any of this happened. I've never met the man a day in my life. But all you are trying to figure it out. Do you not have anything better to do? Because this is literally the story of all of your lives from the time you wake up in the morning until the time you go to bed. Purple Rainstorm did, Raylan, in Katie's chat last week. She thought she had it figured out, put 2 and 2 together, and said, oh, well, Chasing lives so-and-so, and that's only 4 hours away. It's fucking ridiculous. And you're all the same people who are running around talking about, oh, we gotta protect everyone. Look, you people all have your personal issues with Ernie. Those are not my issues. I will not be taking them on, nor am I going to try to humiliate someone or stay on their ass on a daily basis on any of your behalves. There's enough people covering Ernie's every move that I don't need to chime in. Trust and believe that if there's something Ernie does that I don't agree with, I tell him. He knows all the things in the past that I think he was wrong for doing. And I know, and he has told all of you so many times that he will embellish the shit out of something because it makes all of you scamper around and try to prove or disprove it. And you're all like game for it. You love it. You can't get enough of it. It's so freaking weird. Do you guys go this hardcore after your common criminals who have done worse than what Ernie's done? I bet you're all the kind of people who, if you saw someone getting mugged on the street, you would pull out your phones and record it before you would go try to help the person. Because it's content, right? You're probably also the kind of people that before you do a good deed, you have to make sure you have someone that can come with you to do said good deed so that you have someone to record it for you. And that's what you're all getting caught up in. It's the stuff that you do when nobody's looking that matters. That's your true character. All this other nonsense is exactly that. It's nonsense. I don't give a shit if none of you like me. I don't care. And that drives all of you crazy. It drives you crazy that you can't get me to act up and stoop down to some of your levels. Y'all are just as nasty as the people as you complain about. You're sitting there letting people put in your chat that someone's husband, and let me tell you, you got the number wrong. There's no 5 husbands, okay? There's not 5 husbands. I don't know where along the lines that got blurred, but there's not 5. So to sit there and allow someone in your chat to say that the 5 husbands only married her to have access to her children, you sick ass people. But no, none of y'all talk about children. It's okay to talk about children, though, as long as it's our children. The offspring of the people you don't like. You can't handle your adult conflicts with a little bit of decency and common sense. So what do? You let people attack the children. I don't agree with anyone attacking anyone's children. I don't care if you're my mortal enemy. It's not right. And when you have adults sitting here saying the things that they say about children, the comments that they make to try to get back at us as the parent, I don't know why you think that makes you an upstanding person or the epitome of perfection. Honestly, if you're going to say that kind of crap about kids, you're no different than the mom in the documentary I just watched. If you guys haven't watched that on Netflix, watch it. It's like the high school catfish or something like that. Oh my gosh. My jaw was on the floor by the time I got to the end of that show. I couldn't believe it. I'm not going to spoil it for you. It just came out on Netflix. It should be easy to find. Go watch it. It's like Wrong Number, the high school catfish something. I don't know. Yes, Queen Ashley. That's another thing. Talking about people's parenting. Now, I will agree with that. When we're talking about people's parenting or lack thereof, I agree. It's not the same thing. However, there is a fine line, and as long as you're careful not to cross that line, so be it. Keep your adult conflicts between the adults, though. Don't sit there and be, someone's always talking about kids. And then I see all these comments rolling through your chat about children. I honestly think that what this sector of YouTube could use is just like a complete freaking reset. Everyone should like take a few days off and really reevaluate what role they play in all of this crap. Because until people start to do that, until people start to have a little bit of self-awareness and are willing to alter their behaviors or the way they handle situations, nothing's going to change. That's just my opinion, though. You know that everything I say is my opinion. I never expect anyone to agree with me. You never have to feel pressure here. But I see this shit going on a daily basis. And half the time, well, there's one person who is notorious about it because she hasn't been around long enough. And we've gone over this before about all the information she does get is like third, fourth, fifth, sixth hand shit from like 2-3 years ago. I saw someone make the comment the other day about how Nicolina wants to keep bringing up old stuff. And I'm thinking, do you guys not realize that the majority of the crap you talk about is from years ago? Now we got Pandrew sitting over there who has no regard for his fellow humans whatsoever. He has no regard for himself. But he's willing to do all the bad things to people for the sake of his little friend, Lips. And she's butthurt because she was booted from the Mean Girls. That's how nonsensical this is. When you really get down to the root of it, that's what it's all about. That's what y'all are bickering about. Seems kind of mundane, doesn't it? But hell, if you're going to keep dishing it out, let's go. Lips is just doing anything she can do to try to be relevant. She thought she was going to use the situation of another couple and their family to try to get in the door. And when that failed, geez, we got Pandrew sitting there not able to comprehend the fact that just because someone called to say, hey, there's someone from YouTube reaching out to us wanting to interview, act like they're having brunch together. Get over yourself, Pandrew. You don't know anything about the situation either. But he's sure willing to use someone's trauma against them. That's another thing. Now that everyone's pissed off at each other, suddenly all the traumas that they used to console people about suddenly don't matter anymore. Oh my gosh, you guys bring up some of the lamest shit. There was a comment, someone got pissy the other day. Had to make sure they let everyone know in chat that I can't say anything about the Mean Girl's name because I was not one of the originals. Ooh, you're right, I wasn't. But I was voted in by you, one of the people who can't stand me now. I was like, oh yeah, I'm all for it. It's a double yes. Y'all are all silly. Silly as fuck. So yeah, I think that some people, if we're looking at it from a parenting aspect, you people are actually raising humans to go out into the world. And you're doing things like talking about females' body parts and calling people whores, and it's just, ugh. I get it. I've called someone a whore before too. Once it gets going, it just goes back and forth, right? But damn, the whole talking about like describing people's vaginas, a vagina you've never seen before, I might add, on the daily is weird. That's not normal. No, she can't stand anyone she voted in. Yes, crimes. It is all over the internet. And I know that some people around here think that we're probably the biggest, baddest community on all of social media. No. No. You want to see some cutthroat bitches, you go to the crafting community. Damn. Don't let someone go clear out a Dollar Tree shelf. All hell will break loose. Whew, I had a sneeze. Yes, people do need to grow up and act their ages. And I'm guilty. I am like in no way, shape, or form above a lot of the banter. Like I participate, but I know when to draw the line. And you know, this bringing up constant crap from years ago, it really gets you nowhere. It got like nothing ever became of it when we were talking about it 2, 3 years ago. So why keep bringing it up? There's so much crap that goes on in this community on a daily basis that we have plenty to work with. Plenty. Yeah, at least they're doing crafts. Let me try to. I hate this whole scrolling 2 comments at a time. This sucks. And God, a little demonic CJ. Let's see. Yeah, I couldn't believe he called you on the phone. I popped in there to see what was going on, and I was like, what? At first, I thought you're on the panel. I didn't know what was going on. And then I listened to the questions he was asking, and I was like, oh, here we go. And then he tried to do that. I'm just curious. For me, I think that that is just a subject that is best left untouched. I don't think, even if you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that someone is lying about a situation, I just feel like it's a topic best left alone because you never know. All women handle that sort of trauma differently. And, you know, he tried to give some like words of wisdom saying, if you've ever known anyone in that situation, well, Andrew, I have known people in that situation very well. And I can tell you that no two people will ever handle that sort of trauma the same. And for you to just sit there and try to make a mockery out of it and try to use it against someone, I always get so disgusted when people do that to women, especially coming from a man. Of course, Pandrew's not really a man, so, but yeah, it's gross. And let's not forget that he came onto the scene. He came onto YouTube and started his channel on the back of a missing child whose case his son had a direct, I'm not going to say he had a part of it as in he's responsible, but he was closely related to the family. I think that's tacky as fuck too. Don't come on here like on the back of a case like that and then attack women over essay. That's dirty. And for what? To get people to come to your channel? Because since you've been putting Nick's name in your title, you've had more than 6 or 7 people in your chat. Oh, thank you, L. Kennedy, for the super chat. Oh, I gotta get used to seeing that again. Y'all don't let me miss anyone. Yeah, that's just weird. And that's just one of those situations where you as a person have to be responsible for the things you say. But just know, Andrew, that that's gross. I don't care how much you dislike the victim. You don't ever question something like that. And when people don't, okay, this brings me to another situation. Oftentimes when faced with questions about things like that, or when faced with questions about losing their job, I know there was like a big point of contention was whether or not Ernie lied about getting fired. Here's the thing. If I have people continuously, thank you, Nicolina. Pandrew, nothing you do will affect me in the slightest. Bitch, boy. Gonna get. But when people constantly go after your job and things like that, it's not surprising to me that someone would, mislead people about that. It wouldn't shock me. It doesn't shock me if he said that he got fired when he really didn't. One, it's Ernie, and he's always going to keep people guessing. 2, how else are you supposed to protect yourself? Everyone wants, and this is my viewpoint. If people really want to know why I do things like talk to Ernie or let him come on my channel, it's really simple. He's a fucking human being, for one. 2, he might not be doing everything the right way or the way we think he should be doing it or in the order we think he should be doing it. But at the end of the day, none of us really know what phone conversations he's having with people. We don't know. And if he shows us paperwork, that really doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter if it's real or not. Everyone is just going to assume it's fake. And well, look what happened with that picture. See, I had that picture of him in the van. He sent me that. But I specifically held on to that one till the very end. I wasn't going to post it until the very end. It was going to be the last one I posted. And then he beat me to it. But the reason why I held on to it is because I knew that it was going to be scrutinized and picked apart, and everyone was going to be looking to see, was it Photoshop? Did he Photoshop himself into a picture of a crushed up van. So my plan of attack was to put the pictures out one at a time, making sure that you could see the identifying information on the van first, hoping that people would say, okay, yeah, that is the picture of the van, because when you look at the picture, you can clearly see that Ernie's walker is in the grass of that picture. So the thing was, figure out, yes, that's actually the van he was driving, and then show the picture of him in the van, and people would put two and two together and see that it was real. But somewhere along the line, someone wanted to play around with it, and that's fine. The problem came when people were passing it around and leading people to believe that it was legit. But it is what it is. It's just another day in YouTube, right? Always on the case about something. No, they weren't the ones that had all those photos. Not that I know of. Not unless he personally sent them to someone else. I mean, I don't know who he sent them to. I don't know if he posted them on Facebook. I just know that he sent them to me and said I could release one. And then they told me I could release more, and I still just kept doing them one at a time. So if they had them before anybody else, that's news to me. I'm going to need a receipt, please. I'm just kidding. I don't care. Fuck. Imagine if we had real, pieces of paper, real paper receipts for every time someone said they needed a receipt. We would have stacks and stacks of those bitches. That was kind of funny. The minute I saw the picture of the old man, the age progression picture, I just knew something wasn't right about it. I mean, for one, it was so blurry, and I get that it was taken during that little video thing, but you got to stop and remember, those aren't big channels, so when stuff like that gets debunked, it might take people a minute to find it. And then there's going to be people that find it, but they don't say anything. They just let it continue because they wouldn't want to make anyone feel stupid. Yeah, a vault's worth of receipts. So can we use any of these receipts to trade in some of this crap for something better? Okay, that is something that I'm curious about too. I want to know the backstory. Was it sent to her intentionally? Or was it just whoever sent it to her genuinely didn't know? They thought they had a hot story? I don't know. It's one of those mysterious YouTube secrets, I guess. But I understand, Sarah's not one to want to shame somebody. I think if she can handle it privately, she'll try that first, especially if it came from someone that doesn't, usually cause problems. I mean, who sent it is going to be very telling, though. I mean, it could have been sent anonymously. Yeah. I don't know. I just had no idea that so many, little inner workings and stuff happened on YouTube. Jeez. What else has been happening over the weekend? Shit, I don't even really know. There's so much that I had to get caught up on because I don't know. Sometimes you just got to take that time and do fun things. I went swimming, and it was a little bit cooler here over the weekend, so that was great. Well, at home, so. See, I was thinking that it was kind of intentional because of everything that had been going on recently with the little infighting and stuff. And I thought, well, that would be a good way to pull people away from those channels, is to give them something that is intentionally incorrect to present, because, it may not affect all the viewers, but some people could kind of look at their integrity a little bit differently. Oh, yeah, the y'all did it. See? All these little things matter. That's why clip channels are important. Because I know a lot of times, and I'm going to use Elle Kennedy as an example because her clip channel is the one I watch the most. She'll have things in her videos that I might not catch during watching it the first time around. So when she focuses in on details or things that are said, just those little differences can sometimes change my whole perception of a situation. So those things are important. And I know that people say that she's biased and she chops stuff up to intentionally make it look a certain way. No. If you pay attention, the majority of the time, what she's doing is there will be, okay, visualize a piece of paper in your head, and then you have a topic. Okay, that's your first bullet point. Then underneath that topic, you have subtopics or examples of that topic. So she will use a clip of the most recent video or whatever situation we're all talking about. That'll be the main point. And then she will take clips from other live streams, other things that people have said that are opinions or comments or any type of explanation. Those are the subtopics. So if you're closed-minded or you're wanting to think that she is just attacking you no matter what, then you're probably going to see it as just being a chopped up biased mess. But if you're willing to just open that noggin of yours a little bit, you'll see that what she's doing is giving an example of a situation and then using clips from other videos where people have talked about it. I've never found anything that she really has presented in a way that just changes the whole situation up. And she's good about citing her sources, whether it's someone we get along with or not. Those are the things that I look for in a clip channel. It doesn't necessarily mean that they have to just present things in a way that I agree with. I look at all the other things, like whether or not they can be a team player on a huge platform and credit other people's work, whether or not they are willing to look at things from a different perspective. That's what makes a good clip channel in my eyes. So yay, Elle Kennedy. And Sayla, she was a good clip channel too back when she was making videos. I am not a good clipper. I can clip stuff till the end of time, but it's the whole putting everything together and making it cute and all that. Yeah, that's not really for me. Ooh, that's a lot. So I guess, I don't know, does anyone know if Kells is going live? I knew this was going to be a quick one today, but I do have something a little more lengthy in the works for Friday. I wanted to hear those phone call recordings. See, I'm not the moral authority because I am nosy and I wanted to hear those phone calls. And the reason I want to hear those phone calls is because of the whole I don't lie, or do I ever lie? Have I ever lied? And then we found out she lied. Like, I think those phone calls contain a lot. But there again, that is really a personal situation. However, it's one of those situations that were brought here, and it's kind of hard to unsee it. I feel I would never want to be in that situation where something like that was brought to the internet. That's insane to me. The whole Me Too movement was insane to me. And then only to find out, like, how many of those people emailed her to show support and say, oh, I've gone through something similar, only to find out that she never really told y'all anything because it was a false positive to begin with. Well, damn, that would suck. I would be kind of irritated if I emailed someone and said, you know what? I've had that too. I can sympathize. I would expect that person right then and there to respond to my email and say, thank you so much for your support and your understanding and for reaching out to me. However, my situation, it turns out I didn't really have it, but that was just something that wasn't brought out. That's what I would have expected. And if I would have been the person that received the email showing me support, that's what I would have done. I would have immediately responded to each email and said, thank you so much for being a good friend, for being supportive, but, and then I would have told them. I just feel like that's the right thing to do. Because I'm sure that a lot of those people had never planned on telling anyone. I don't know. Like, what has YouTube come to? I think, and I've heard other people say this too, I think Benny Keys needs to come back. What congressman can I write to get him back? Because I would take just an ounce of his just comedic cut downs and replace some of this monotonous shit with. Don't bring your cooter problems to YouTube. Like, who would ever thought we would have to say that? Like, I understand everyone wanting to, you know, be there for your fellow woman and, you know, band together in unity and solidarity. But holy hell, what a surprise to find out it wasn't even true and you just outed your whole cooter situation. Oh, yes. Hold on, you guys, I have to cough. Woo! Hey, Kels. Is Crazy Train you?
That's me.
Hey.
For whatever reason, I'm logged into this on my iPhone. So apparently, after I guess Katie at some point had logged into her email account from one of Bird's devices,
Oh.
and after the very weird sexual encounter, he decided, I guess, to see if it was her email was still logged in on his device. And that's how we found out that she had HPV. Yeah,
So could he have? Can he still get into her email?
I don't know. I would
That would mean
assume,
if he could, he has access to all the people that
yeah.
emailed in support. Oh,
Well, I don't know if he'd still have access, but it would mean that he had access to any email from any person that has emailed her from
yeah,
YouTube,
yeah.
and he could have grabbed their identity. I trust nothing from that man. He is diabolical. So she, that's how we found out, is
Oh,
going through her email account that was still logged in on his device.
damn.
Kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, it just gets deeper and deeper. So there's no phone call to play. Well, I guess there would be phone calls for like the aftermath of when they talked about
No,
it
I,
and
yeah, there was, yeah, there's a phone call. It's from after he found it.
oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, Cass, she probably would have never told him. Uh-oh, we lost her. I think she driving or working or like, and that's now. I know that we laugh about it, and like I'm literally sitting here thinking, "Damn, that's a terrible thing to find out accidentally through someone's email." But that's just an example of the extent that things can get to around here, right? Like things can snowball so fast. I am the type of person that if a conflict arises, I like to handle that conflict as quickly as possible. I do not like to live with bitterness or resentment, anything that's going to drain my happiness or my energy. I like closure and absolution. And I know you can't always have that because the world is imperfect, but in situations where there's conflict, I think that if you can knock out the petty stuff, it might alleviate everything growing into something much larger. But this is it. This is where we're at, folks. You have got people going after people's jobs, people going after people's homes, people having no regard for the safety of children. You've got people talking about CPS calls, people making CPS calls. If that shit is not going to be handled, stop talking about it. They're all pissed off at me too. I have always said from the very beginning, if you felt or you knew for a fact that someone called falsely on you, do what you have to do to handle it. Bringing it here obviously hasn't helped. And that's all I'm going to say about it because I haven't gotten myself involved in that from the jump. I'm not going to get myself involved in it now. But if I see something, I'm probably going to have an opinion about it, and that's my opinion. Handle it legally. No shit, I would too. That's something, that's not like just someone calling and saying, I've seen this woman spank her child too hard. That is a serious claim. And if someone made that claim about me or someone in my family, I would want to get to the bottom of who made that claim and nip it in the bud and make sure that it never happens again. That's insane. But what it has done is it has given a springboard for everyone to use to kind of branch off into all this other bullshit. Because no matter what people say, people still have it in their heads that Nick is responsible And so they're going to keep doing all this other stuff because they just know they're right about that. Well, look at how many things you've been wrong about. Lord have mercy. And it's you don't even need to pay for a lawyer for something like that. This is the point where you can be just as vigilant as an attorney would. They have like legal aid in all states. There is a process, and people can be held accountable for making those false calls. I know here it's up to $1,000 fine, and you can face up to a year in jail for making a false call to CPS. Oh, okay. That's crazy. I can't wait to see if anything comes of that. That's that's nuts. Never log into your email or anything on anyone else's device unless you trust that person with every ounce of your being, because bad things can happen. Especially don't do it on someone's device if that person is shady and has no boundaries whatsoever. All right, you guys, I have got to get to a very important meeting. So I'm going to wrap this up and we will do something else on Friday. Thank you to all the new members and all the super chat. I really appreciate it, and I will get to work on those membership badges. We have baby brainiacs, scholars, and master genius. Because you know they're always making fun of me about being a know-it-all and all that shit. So, yeah, that's where we're at. I guess I'm gonna have to start planning some members-only stuff. Maybe we'll do a no holds barred Q&A soon. Within reason. You guys can't ask me anything too crazy. Thank you, Fugitive Recovery. Love you too. I hope you're doing well. I know you've been so busy, but I'm still sending all the positive vibes and well wishes and prayers into the universe for you and your family. All right, everyone. Go enjoy your Prison Wednesday. Be safe. I will see you all again Friday. I don't know what time. Maybe I'll surprise you and we'll party on a Friday night. Who knows? All right. I will see all of you soon. Thanks again, everyone. Have an amazing day. Love your faces. Get out of here. Bye.